Here is a very unusual string of Christmas lights. I have never seen Christmas lights quite like this before. I've seen a handful of novelty shaped, colored incandescent Christmas lights that are faceted, but never basic, clear, white mini lights. C. Clear. This is a 70 light string, which means it's probably two sets of 35 in series, which makes it the dreaded 6-volt bulbs, which I really don't like because they're just about impossible to find at this point. But in this particular case, it probably doesn't really matter because you're unlikely to find spares for this anywhere anyways. Green wire, indoor outdoor, one light set at 7 meters long and 7.7 meters in total length. So it's 0.7 meters of lead wire and you can connect it end to end. It originally sold for $6.99. I don't see a date on here anywhere. Actually, there's not much of any information at all. It was originally sold at Target. It doesn't even say what the OEM is. I'm curious to the year it was made because I almost wonder if this was designed to compete with DEL, because when the DEL bulbs first came out, most of them were faceted. Back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, a lot of them used that faceted design, which I guess was to try to make them appear brighter than they actually were. And so I wonder if this was an attempt to keep selling incandescent lights because they look the same. I don't know. That theory could be completely bogus depending on what year these were made. The box feels like... The box feels like something that was made in the 2000s, late 2000s, early 2010s. It's got that kind of tacky, semi-high gloss finish. It's all painted or whatever, tonered, or you want to call it. Kind of a waste of money, really, because this could have been a plain cardboard, and anyways. So it says super bright mini lights, steady illuminated or flashing bulbs included, stays lit if one bulb burns out, although the rest will certainly follow, extra bulbs and fuse included, use replacement bulb 3.5 volts, and it's listed as if you can just buy these anywhere, replaceable fuse plug, 0.4 amps in total or 48 watts, and you can connect the infamous 3 strings end to end, though it probably can be up to 5 strings if you look at the amperage of the fuse. It's probably a 3 amp fuse, so you could realistically put probably 6 and still not exceed the 3 amps. This is a hint that it was from the early to mid 2000s era. I remember when that debacle came out, and my grandmother was very paranoid about it. It just like, I don't know if it was on the news or whatever, somewhere it came out and it was a big deal that there's lead in the wires and the lead supposedly causes all these different things. Only in California, nowhere else in the country. But then everything started to say, wash your hands after touching the wires, and all the Christmas lights started coming with these big tags that said, wash hands after use. And I remember my grandmother was getting all upset because I kept touching the Christmas lights. Naturally, that's what I would do. And for a while, she had me wear gloves when we put up the Christmas lights and took them down and whatnot. And then it all disappeared like it never even happened. So let's open these up and see what these are like. They're a little bit bigger than basic mini lights. Yeah, they're actually considerably larger than basic mini lights. Come on. Unblur. There we go. You can see the filament in there. It's definitely a basic incandescent bulb with an interesting piece of glass around it. Definitely glass. There's no like plastic coating over it. They come with 2 spare bulbs, 2 flasher bulbs, and 1 fuse. And curiously, it's plugged into itself. Oh, here's the date code. 0407. So, in 2007, that was kind of when LED just started to surface on the consumer market. It was definitely not popular yet. It was still very expensive. I highly doubt that this was a competitor to DEL. If this had came out in, let's say, 2010, 2011, 2012, that era, I could see this having been a competitor, but I think that's a little bit too early for there to have been enough market interest in DEL to require a competitor product. Or maybe it wasn't, it just totally failed. I've never seen these before, so there's a good shot that they have not been sold very much. It says this is a series connected string, which is true. There's the infamous temporary 90-day installation, whatever the heck that's based off of, I don't know. It's a decorative lighting string. And it says, I don't know if maybe somebody can determine the OEM based off this number, but it says E98543, issue number R-5728. Printed in the USA, which is kind of interesting considering the string is made in China. So that the strings come over to the US and then this tag was applied. That doesn't make any sense, or were these just shipped to China, I guess? Who knows? Alright, so let's go ahead and plug these strings in, or just this string is only one of them. I hope it works. It works. Oh, it doesn't work. It's only half working. Oh, man. Alright, so we're testing at 120.7 volts, and half of the string consumes 0.19 amps, half the string consumes 23 the watts, and half the string has a power factor of 1 as expected. Geez, that's a real bummer that only half of this is working. Well, oh, this is really stuck in there. I don't think I want to try to fix it right now. We'll just analyze the half that works. So the lights are a little bit brighter than normal, which is to be expected because these are larger 6-volt bulbs as opposed to the very low wattage 2.5s that we usually see. Go ahead and turn the lights off. Nice incandescent glow, no flicker, no weird coloring or anything like that. It's a pretty interesting effect. Really beautiful lights, actually. Really nice to look at. And as you move around, they do kind of like sparkle through the faceting. And you actually can see the faceting effect on the table. So the faceting definitely does make a difference in how the light is distributed. They're getting pretty warm, but that's typical for the 6-volt bulbs. I have replaced strings of 6-volt bulbs that go out completely with 5-volt bulbs. And, or no, am I getting that backwards? What are these? 3.5. Okay, I was totally inaccurate. Oh, what? No, hold on. The 3.5 you can replace with 6 or 5. I don't remember what the numbers, but you can go up in voltage. I want to say I've used 6. Yes, it's 6. I've replaced strings of 3.5 volt bulbs that went out completely with 6 volt bulbs, and it works. They're a little bit dimmer than it would be normally, of course, because you're still distributing 3.5 volts across all the bulbs when they call for 6. But since the filaments in the 6 volt bulbs are so big, you can run them at a lower voltage and it's still acceptably bright. I've done that with a handful of strings, but it has to, of course, be a regular string of plain bulbs. It's not going to. I mean, it would work with this string, but I don't have any faceted 6 volt bulbs. So if I do end up installing these, what I'll probably do is run these in a dimmer to make them last longer, because I don't think that you'll ever find replacements for these. Wow, these are actually getting really quite hot now. Well, these are cool. I like these. There's a fuse here. I don't know where that came from. That's pretty cool. Very nice bulbs. I'll fill up like a small tree maybe with this string if I can get it to work properly.